party ready because we are back one last time to talk about season 8 finale of Below Deck Med. I am your host, Sasha Joseph, joined, of course, with our chief entertainment officer, overall, honestly, winner. If you saw a stream we were on last night, and just a great time. Chappell, you're here. Welcome. We have made it to the end. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it. It's been a long ass season, but I think this is a perfect way to end it. I think this episode was more fun than we've seen from a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the episodes. And I'm also a professional phone party attending. So, just
Same.
saying, like, this is kind of my wheelhouse. I've like the way I've done togas, I have done the phone. So I feel like I am like especially prepared to help you host this podcast.
Can't wait. Yeah, listen, because our film party, even though we were in maybe quote unquote middle of nowhere towns, it don't matter. They were much better than this. I'll tell you that. But before we again get started, just help us out. Leave us some reviews. Now that the season's over, let us know how much you enjoyed our coverage so that more people can find us in 2 weeks. Because guess what, baby? We're coming back for Below Deck Proper. So help us out, okay? Leave us a review on Apple or Spotify, or you can just comment on these videos, share them with your friends. Let's get the views up, all right? Help us. So with that, Chappelle, I think we got to get into it because we have a lot to talk about, okay? How do we feel
Mhm.
about the episode? Like you said, you love mess. I just loved the kissing. Everyone was kissing everyone.
But this was mess, and I appreciate the mess. Like, we've had some harmful mess where people were
Yes.
very sad and stuff like that. But this was just that normal, just kind of trashy, kind of hooking up here, talking about it, people back. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Nobody's work was affected by this. It doesn't look like anybody's mental health was really affected by this. I mean, we can talk about Kyle a little bit, but for
Mm-hmm.
the most part, this is my kind of drama. This is what
Same.
I'm looking for. Yeah, so I was very excited that this is how we're going to end it because this season has been a roller coaster. It's been crazy. There've been so many personal things and personal attacks done on each other, but it feels like because it was the last day and the last episode that everybody kept it kind of light, except for the primary's guest. That
Jeff.
family, Jeff and Sarah, I think it was. They
Yeah.
just
Yeah, I don't know. Some
yeah.
Stephanie and Jeff.
Stephanie and Jeff, they were not having a good time. But I definitely had a good time watching this.
Yep, 100%. And listen, we'd be remiss to start the podcast without shouting out the peanut galley. So listen, we missed you, chat. I know
Mhm.
things have been wild with us, but we miss you. Thank you for always rocking with us. We're just so happy y'all are here. And if you only listen to us, make sure you go to YouTube if you're free at 3 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. That's when we're usually live. So now, okay, let's get into it. Let's get through the guests because that's the least messy piece of all of this. All right. Finally, the guests are able to leave the damn boat and go somewhere. But turns out they're just going to Portofino for a little excursion, for a little shopping, sightseeing. They're grabbing lunch. And can you believe someone paid $30,000 to $50,000 for this?
This is so ghetto. It's so ghetto. I mean, we know that the crew, there's not much they could do because of the weather, but I still think they could have given these people more than just like a tour of Portofino because you can get these type of excursions on Groupon. Like
There's
this is
free
nothing
walking tours.
crazy. Free walking tours, drink tours where you can at least get a drink at every location and be drunk on the tour. It's a beautiful location. I'm sure they're not really complaining. Portofino looks amazing, but for the amount of money these guests have paid for this, I don't know if I would have tipped as friendly as they tipped. That's all I'm going to say.
I agree with you. I would have been like, I would talk to Bravo and say, you need to give me my money back so that I can tip.
Uh
Because
huh.
it's not their fault, but it's not my fault either. Because this is disgusting. And again, just nothing to report. It was so horrid. And on top of that, Jeff and Stephanie are so embarrassing, right? They won't stop bickering. And listen, as sometimes like the bickering person in a relationship, I wouldn't even go this hard. Like, I would just be like, just enough. We're going to talk about it later because this is crazy. But it seems like Stephanie just wants to talk to her kids and Jeff is not wanting that. Weirdo.
It feels, I don't know. It's like he wants her to have a good time. They're obviously all trying to have a good time despite the circumstances. But her bringing up the kids and oh my god, I want to FaceTime my kids. He's like, oh my god, Steph, give it a rest. You're such a buzzkill. Oh my god, ugh, I can't believe I brought you here. And at first I thought, okay, like he's obviously very unhappy and he's just taking it out on her. But then they start going back and forth. They're sniping each other. And I was like, all right, we kind of got action. So as much as I feel like they would be driving me crazy as somebody just in the car with them, I also want the live feeds. I want to know what else happened. I kind of want to follow up. How do we not know how this argument ended? What happened? Are they still together? This might be my Roman Empire.
Oh, I just think that they've been together so long that it's just, this is their life now.
Yeah, you got people in the back of the van thinking like, what is happening? They're saying these things. We're just trying to have a good time. Hey, y'all want to like, nope, you can't even cut in to say anything nice to the other one because both of them are talking so much trash and they are fed up. And like I said, at first I was very uncomfortable because it's like, oh my God, I don't want to see the dissolution of a marriage or nothing like that. But at the same time, like if y'all gonna argue, turn it up. I need to hear more things. I need to know where all this is stemming from. Let's get into it.
Yeah, Big T asked, think those two are still together? I think so. Misery loves company.
They're still together. At this point, they're all in and it just feels like, hey, they're going to fight, but they still got each other at the end of the day. I mean, who else is going to fight with you like that? You got to take some type of love to be in that kind of a bicker the entire time you're in this beautiful location. So there's something there. They just weren't on the same page.
Yeah, Lolly's saying, I feel like Jeff is a bit jealous. He can't be the one with the money to charter this. I don't know about that. I think that this man never leaves his house, and then he's mad that y'all got him with pants on and not in the water.
Yeah.
Because I think he's cheap, and he doesn't want to spend the money, and now that he has, this is horrid.
And that's the thing. When other things start going wrong, you have to figure out a way to either, let it go, like exhale and let go of that stress, or displace it. Or you're just going to be carrying it and being all bitter. And so he has decided to let off some of his steam on his poor wife. And that is not healthy. And that's why we get to see them fight the whole time. Because it feels like he's having a bad time. And so everybody has to have a bad time now. Or at least she does.
100%. Okay. And then, of course, now the big cherry on top, right? Or the deflated balloon on top, maybe I should say, where now, okay, all of this is happening. Toomey and Kyle are really trying, right, to rally the troops, blah, blah, blah. And Toomey says, hey, Jess, I need Lily and Max to go set up the foam party. Big mistake.
Is this a bad judgment call on Toomey's part, or should she be able to expect these two humans to do this one thing for her?
Oh my God. I think normally you could expect it, but not when Tweedledee and Tweedledum are together. You know what I mean? I think like it has to be one or the other, like Jess and Max, or Lily and Laura, right? I know Laura wasn't there, or Lily and Haley, whatever. It doesn't matter. But I'm just saying there needs to be some grounding person. But I don't know.
Because Lily she's, Jess will call herself the master of games in this episode, but Lily is really the game master.
Yeah.
You let her go and she's good at keeping people entertained. But I just think that she's a distraction for someone like Max, who probably could have done it if he was left to his own devices or with somebody, like you said, grounded, kind of watching him. But with Lily there, she's shiny and pretty and fun, and he's just kind of taking his eye off the ball because he cannot get the foam to work. By the time they get there, it's pitiful. It's basically just a pool and some bubbles, and that's it.
When I tell y'all, this is the fuggliest, most god-awful disaster that I have seen. And I can't believe you're even paying $1 for this.
Yeah.
But what do you mean? You show up and it's the most ratchet beach club I've ever seen in my whole life. And then you walk down and shit's deflated. Like, why is it there's a tube is inflated, but then the little swans, like, it's like a flaccid penis. Like, this is
Ah!
horrendous.
Very sad. Very sad. It looked like a sad child's birthday party. You know, like right after it's done, when all the kids have gone inside and like now the adults have to come clean it up. That's how it looked. It looked like there was fun here one time. It's just not here right now. And you leave Max and Lily together, and it's crazy to me because they had all day, you know, like they really, but you get to see them wandering around and
Yep.
lollygagging and doing handstands and stuff like that. Do your work first. What are y'all doing? Do that first, then play in the foam even. But you got to get the stuff going here. When Toomey shows up, I know Toomey thought like, this is it. I'm never doing this again. Like her journey this season has been disastrous from beginning to end, and she's just been rolling with the punches. But at some point, something as simple as a foam party should have been so easy to handle, and it didn't come together.
And my thing is, right, you have to sit there and think about like order of priority. So first you have to start with, I need to get foam for the foam party. The decor can come later because once the foam is full, at least it looks nice.
Mhm.
And the fact that that is the last thing they're doing, just already the math is not mathing. And the fact that he can't get the damn foam thing to work. Luca's description was my favorite. You just see Max blowing bubbles.
Yeah. Yeah. Robin in the chat says that it looks like a neighborhood public pool, and that's really how
Oh,
it looks.
yes.
It really how it looks. It's like I paid all this money to be on a luxury yacht and to go on excursions, and y'all took me to a city pool. I was like, but you're right. I think that if you come in and you have a plan and you say, okay, first thing first, it's a foam party. Let's get the foam going, because it probably takes more effort to get the foam going. You have to assemble something, the
And it does.
machine.
If you've been to a foam party, you know the first like little bit is disgusting.
Yeah, you got to get that first little those nasty bubbles out the way. You got to
Yes.
let it fluff, you know.
Exactly. Literally. I'm telling you, I remember again, we were dumb freshmen, and we were, I think, about to we had started rushing
Mm.
for different sororities. Well, actually just one, let's be clear. But
Yeah.
anyway, it doesn't matter. And we were like, oh, let's impress them by being early. We're stupid. And when I say it was the most disgusting thing ever that I had
Mm.
done, because all you see is just a layer of like grime,
Yeah, a
because the
goop.
foam doesn't have
It
anything
is
to
dirt.
stick to.
Yeah, and it's
Yes,
dirty. The
because it's
floor
a
is
club.
dirty.
They're not
Yeah.
cleaning the damn floor.
It's that layer of snow. Yeah, like if people have ever been like, you know, that slushy part, that's there. And then
Yes,
the
yes,
top
yes,
of the
yes.
snow is real pretty and white, but you know, like when you get to the concrete, that's where it's like, ew, you know, it's basically mud. And foam is the same exact way. People in the chat are talking about more foam bosun. Do I need to know who that is? Is his name Steve?
I think they're talking about because Lolly asked in the chat, right? Who's the guy on Below Deck Proper who loves his foam parties? He came on twice. I think they're talking about a charter guest. I just don't remember their name.
Mhm.
Yeah, Big
Yeah.
P's saying Steve.
Steve. Okay,
Yeah.
so look, I like a good phone party. If we had time, I would show you some of the pics from the phone party that I went to. I definitely, you know, I had
Will
a
he
great time.
actually share? Mm.
I could. Oh, okay. That wow. Anyway, that was a deep cut from several years ago. Let that go. Anyway, but I do think that you know the hallmark of any good phone party is the amount of foam. It cannot just
Correct.
be some bubbles. It needs to feel like, hey, this is a special occasion. There's a lot of foam here. You can have bubbles at any party, but a foam party, first objective is to get the foam. And so when Kyle looks and sees that they basically don't have the foam because Max didn't follow the instructions of insert soap, turn on the water in that order, here we are.
Oh my god, and I couldn't stop laughing. What Elizabeth is talking about, by the way, more foam bosun was what is the scene in the Below Deck
Oh,
Proper where they were sitting here and be like, more foam bosun.
it. Listen, I need that.
But
I'm
yes,
just
correct.
yeah.
We do need more foam bosun is our problem. And yeah, Anna is correct in the chat. Anna does say, to be fair, most Below Deck themed decor is also Party City nonsense. But yes, it's the fact that they're on the boat that
Mhm.
makes it fine because you're like, I'm on a mega yacht on a
Yeah.
TV show. I'm fine. Everything's okay. But the fact that we have to sit through this nonsense of like, you know, I never did spring break. My mom wouldn't allow me, but like this is
Mhm.
what I assumed the like cheapest of the cheapest, not middle of nowhere, but like the STD filled
Ah!
spring break like locations. Like this is what I think it would look like.
Yeah, I've done a few spring break trips, and yeah, there are various versions of this for sure. There's like the ones that you spend a lot of money at, and they got like the Calvin Harris pool party, and everybody's
Right.
jumping up and down. Like those are the nice ones. The foam's coming out, there's lasers and all kinds of stuff. And then you got the like, hey, we're in no I don't want to call everybody's town out, but we're in, a small city with a beach, and they have a pool and we got
Galveston,
foam.
yeah.
Yeah, and then you go in and that's it, and you're happy because it's what you paid for. But these
Right.
people definitely pay for more. Now, Sasha, how long do you think it took Kyle to get the foam running? Because they had time to play pool games. Lily had them racing on the floaties. There was a lot going on, but I don't know how long it was before they actually got what they paid for.
Yeah, I personally feel like it was almost towards the end.
Hmm.
That they got it to work. Again, because it like we said, it takes a while, and we did see a lot of foam at the end, so I'm just assuming that they were playing in the pool, they played chicken, did everything they needed to do, and then they were like, "Ta-da! Foam
Hmm.
now." And they probably just took a little bit of pictures and moved on, because you can't, like, be in the water when there's foam on your head.
Hmm. Yeah, you will drown.
Yeah, like, I've
Yeah.
only been at foam parties, like, on where there was no water around, because I was gonna
Hmm.
say on land, but I was like, "Wait, they're on land." Where it's, like, at a club, I mean,
Yeah,
like,
they're the
not at a
pool.
pool.
You have to be able to breathe, and the foam will be all in your
Mhm.
airspace. I've been in foam parties where there's been so much foam that you legit are in danger, and this would have felt like that if you're in the pool when the foam is coming out. So the goal was just to have the foam sitting there when they got there. That's it.
Yeah, and I think that would've looked great, and then that with a the cute little, like, floaties would've looked just chef's kiss, but again, like Thundercat said, this charter is barely a yacht, just a struggle bus on
Ah,
water.
it's tough. This whole season has been a struggle for sure.
Yep. And Robin does say, yeah, I watched on Watch What Happens Live that Toomey and Sandy were saying she didn't blame Max and Lily, saying it was a tough job. No, 100%. Like, this isn't easy. It's just the two people that aren't necessarily our problem solvers and initiative takers can't be the ones then to do said tough job. That's all I'm
Hmm.
saying. Yeah. And Lolly did Google it that it was Steve. And he was a drunk mess talking about the more foam bosun person.
Hmm.
And it was a Rocky season on my trader's cast list. Anyway, just ridiculous season overall. Would everyone check out Below Deck proper? So now, after all that, they're done. The guests, like, whatever. They have a little Hollywood glam themed dinner. Jessica did a great job with it. Everyone, is like giving her praise. And Jack is like, I'm gonna go out with a bang. We get a little surf and turf, which I feel like always does, but it's fine. And if it works, so it's fine. And so, they gave a standing ovation afterward, which is great. Blah blah blah. I think if it wasn't for the food and poor Toomey and Kyle like really trying, mega flop. Now let's leave it because they're off the boat, okay?
Hmm.
And quickly we can just wrap this piece up. So once the guests leave, Laura is back.
She's back. That's
Just
it.
woohoo! And she of course feels better. So she's returning to the boat just in time for the final night. Everyone's getting excited. Sandy's like, "Listen, this was an absolute joy. Let's do our tip meeting and let's finish this out." So the entire crew, she like goes through the heads of departments. Right, Toomey gets praised, Luca gets praised, and Jack gets praised. They all deserve it for different reasons. And then says the final tip was $15,000. I fell off my bed.
It's a lot of money. A lot of money for something you didn't even get. the minimum of what you asked for. You know, like I guess like you can't take that out on the wait staff and the stews and stuff like that. But at the same time, is that on top of the money they already paid? Because these people legit went to a neighborhood swimming pool that they probably could have went to for like
Exactly.
$30.
No, for $15,000, you could have got a really nice suite at a
Mhm.
really expensive hotel.
Like a very, very expensive hotel.
Very, like, top
Yeah.
of top with, like, butlers, like, with the
Uh-huh.
wait staff,
Basically, below deck, but on land, you know,
which
above
is
deck.
what this charter was.
Yes, exactly. So it's like for the amount of money, this
And
was
bigger
insane.
rooms.
Yeah. It- this is what happens when you have a lot of money, though. When you have a lot
Yeah.
of money, I guess you don't mind spending this kind of thing. But for someone like me, I'd have been talking to Bravo. I'd have to negotiate something. Like, hey, are we gonna get a coupon on our next one? Can we get a half off or
Yeah, they
something
gotta
like
yeah,
that?
100%,
Yeah,
100%.
something. I mean, especially if you tip good. Next time I come here, y'all gotta lay out the red carpet from the jump. I don't want a red carpet dinner, Hollywood theme. I need y'all to know that we are your new VIPs. We got like one of those little, those little punch cards where I come in and you punch
Yes.
it every time or something like that. Just show some love to these people because they really didn't have to tip like that, and they did, and you know, more power to them. Just couldn't
And
be
we
me.
have seen worse tips than this. Erica's
Mhm.
little crew. So the thing is, it's not that it hasn't been done before. And for once, we would have been like, so
Yeah, because you and I tip wherever we go,
yes,
and it's just like you got to tip because we know that the staff is not getting paid all of the money that you're spending on whatever the food and the services are. Like that's not really how it works a lot of times, especially wait staff. They just don't get paid that much in comparison. They really rely on tips, so it's like I cannot punish them for this. But someone has to pay for this, and it doesn't have to be me. If you know that this was not how it was planned, because I think you save a lot of money too as a crew by not taking us where we wanted to go. The excursion, like whatever
yeah,
money you
like
saved
the
on
fuel
gas
charge.
and
Yeah,
fuel,
exactly.
exactly. All that, just pay some of that back. You know what I'm saying? Get a little refund. Maybe they did. Maybe they did, and
Yeah,
it's
and for
our
all we know, that's true
yeah.
that they're coming back next season. Thundercats also has a really good point. That maybe they gave a good tip for dealing with the Bickersons.
That too. He knows, like the primary knows. Hey, we were pretty understanding about the things that were going
Yeah,
on, but at the same time, we did have some drama on our end as well, and we can see that y'all did y'all's best. I just think that
that's
their
true.
best could have been better. You know.
Yeah, I listen, as an event yeah, I also agree that it could have been better. I do think the phone party is a good idea. Like, not
Hmm.
knocking the idea, execution, yikes. So, that's it to say that, the season total is $182,000 in tips for all of them, which is almost 15,000. Honestly, 14,000 because it was 14,200. 14,000 per person.
Hmm.
And here's what I feel, because we talked about this a few podcasts ago, right? Below Deck staff has come out and said you need to pay us more because our
Hmm.
show is like one of the top shows on Bravo, but Southern Charm people are getting paid more than Below Deck cast.
Well,
Makes no
mhm.
sense.
Yeah, interesting. I did a Google a while back and it said that what a charter on Below Deck is about 6 weeks long, and so $15,000 for 6 weeks of work isn't awful, but including but that's tips,
Yeah.
right? So like, what is their salary that they're making? I think that is the real
They make
question.
the like just regular salary, like what a yachty would make,
Hmm.
period.
Okay,
But
so
what
they make
they're
like regular
saying
yacht money, and then they make the
yes.
15K in the tips, and then like, but also like they could be making Bravo money, and I think
Yeah,
that's probably what they're
they're
looking
saying they're
for.
not making Bravo money.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting. Yeah, that
like, they're because I think other Bravo people get paid, like, like, whatever, 5,000 maybe per episode for all, like, depending.
but they get paid like they work for a boat.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's ghetto. Mm-mm.
That's what
Ghetto,
yeah.
ratchet. Yeah.
Mhm. So
Yeah.
that's what, they were trying to bring up. Actually, it was Chef Rachel,
Mhm.
and said that who's brought all this up, who was on America's Next Top Model. So
Mm.
anyway, and yeah, Anna in the chat says, like, I think you sign, a show that says you have to tip a minimum. No, I agree that, there is, like, below producers are like, you have to tip, period. Like,
They
I believe that's
recommended.
required. Yeah, recommended, voluntold
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
tip. But I think the amount also, I think, and they tell you the suggested amount. But all I'm saying is like, we've seen
Mhm.
shittier tips. That's all we mean.
Uh-huh.
But these
Yeah,
are
I
good
could
beer
imagine.
excursions. I guess they got
Yeah.
money.
I was like, you can't make me tip $15,000 after I already spent 50,000 on this thing. Like, like if it come down to
Yeah.
it, I will not tip. But I think that, primarily you're supposed to, customarily you're supposed to, and also in your contract you agree that there is a suggested 15K tip. Now, I also agreed that I was going to be doing stuff on this boat. I was going to be going on excursions and all kinds of stuff, and
I could
and then
ride a damn jet ski.
right, go on the slide off the just a slide. You didn't have to move the boat. I just need to go down the slide, and you didn't get that stuff. So I mean, I think that there's a little wiggle room in those contracts for sure.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. So yeah, with that, yeah, Lolly was saying there was a charter, they got 600 each. They were pissed. I'm telling you, Erica's charter, I'm pretty sure they tip like 8,000. But now I can't remember. So all that to say, done and dusted. Work is over. It's
Yes.
mess time.
There's so much mess in this episode, Sasha. My heart was it was smiling from
Oh
ear to
my god! I was
ear.
like, wait. When I was writing my notes, I was like, how do I bring this? I don't know where to start. So let's start
Yes.
wherever I feel like it at this point. So obviously, we know Nat is coming. Jack is slowly becoming my favorite.
I was about to say the same thing. When did Chefy, you down with the cause? It's getting a little boring here. Allow me to help stir the pot a little bit. That's what I'm talking about, Jack. Step it up.
Yeah, because Sheffy said, I know why she's coming. I'm not dumb. And I say, at least he's honest. That's a real one. Because he's
Mm-hmm.
like, she's coming for Luca. She ain't coming for me. And she's
Uh-huh.
coming for Mess. So I love him. I appreciate him. But of course, they have to do the customary dinner with Captain before. Captain Sandy looks amazing. She's giving her like Beyonce Renaissance outfit, right? With her
Mm-hmm.
silver. Loved it. Of course, like, it's nice. A cutesy thing. It don't matter because Jess has overheard Kyle and Laura talking in the laundry.
This is the best thing that ever happened to me.
Have you
I was
ever been caught like that? I don't think I've ever.
no, like not talking, but I've definitely been the listener who watched somebody else get caught. Like where they're talking to
Yeah.
me and someone walked in, I'm like, oh, well, I'm
Oh
gonna
my God.
go. Sasha, let me set this up. So Luca
Please.
is texting Nat and he's texting Katie Flood and he's still flirting with Jess. Jess is trying
Flirting,
to get,
he's effing.
they're
Wrong
still
F.
kissing and all that stuff. And meanwhile, he's texting both of these people. He's just Katie and Natalia. They're obviously flirting. He's kind of doing. I'm so honestly, all things aside, I'm very proud of how Luca plays his position. He
No,
knows not
not
to give
this
any. No, no,
episode.
no, no. Just give me a second. I just think that when these text messages are going, he's not giving any of them enough to where they can hold him accountable for anything. It's like send me news. He sends pictures of his legs. Like make sure. Natalia's like, make sure you wear something sexy. And he's like, LMAO. Like he knows not to go too far in the text message. I was like, this is a masterclass. It really is. But he has Kyle lurking around, and Kyle can see the grin on his face. And he's like, ain't no way you texted Jess because Jess in the other room, and I see that it's Katie Flood. Oh, I'm about to gossip. Now, even Kyle, I was proud of Kyle in this moment because Kyle says, now look, do I love Jess? Yes, but I know this is none of my business to start telling Jess what Luca said and Luca said what Jess said, but I'm still going to gossip. I was like, that's all I ask. You know what I'm saying? You stay in your lane. You go tell Toomey, y'all have y'all little moment in the side and just and y'all have y'all moment. Now, when Kyle sees Laura show up, you can see the devil in his eyes. He's like, yep, it's time. And he cannot wait to go tell her what's been going on so much that he doesn't even realize that Jess is right there around the corner. He's not even checking the surroundings good enough. The boat is not that big. And he's just so eager to tell her what's up. Then Jess hears the whole thing, and the first thing they say to Jess is, "Why are you listening outside the door, sir,
How do you
ma'am?
not punch him in the face? Right?
Why
Like,
am
I was
I
literally
listening?"
oh my god, I couldn't laugh. I'm telling you, Anna said it. The back half of this episode turned into Vanderpump Rules. Correct.
Oh, it was
Correct.
perfect. It was
Oh
perfect.
my god. Because Captain Sandy is at dinner not knowing any of this has happened.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Luca is still trying to, juggle his women, I would say, and just said, I'm done. I played the games, right? I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Guess who is never done? The person that keeps saying, I'm done. So of course he's still holding her, and she's like, "You're a whore." Like, it's just saying all this stuff to him, but still like cozying up to him. I can't. And Thundercats, this is exactly how I feel.
Cat's so messy.
How does Luca have this kind of time management for 3 women, but can't do a proper schedule for the deck crew?
Look, the girls who get it, get it. The girls who don't. Like Luca said, you got to make time for what you want to make time for. What's important to you, and what's important to him is hoeing. Okay, and
Yes.
he is for the streets, and you gonna learn about it today. When Luca and Jess are sitting next to each other, he's like, What do you have to drink? Not what you drinking." I was like, "Okay, Jess. We've been yelling at Jess to stand up for a while. Look, I have to know. Do you think that was there any point in the episode where you thought Jess was actually going to stand up for herself, or did you know from the
No.
beginning that she was going to fold?
Oh, I knew she was gonna fold. Duh. Come on.
I When
Fold
she was
like
sitting there,
laundry. But I
I
do have
thought for a
something
second,
to say. I will
okay.
say, yeah, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. I also, maybe this is controversial, but I don't think so. When she was wasted, spoiler alert, at the end of the night, it was icky to watch Luca like drag her everywhere. So I will say I don't know that like I will fall like and make fun of Jess for just that ending. Because
Mhm.
to me, it was just giving icky. Like everyone is like pushing her, da da da, and he's like, he's leading her to where he wants her to go while like grabbing his crotch. So I will say that felt icky, and I would not want to be in that position. Outside of that, yes, I knew she'd fold.
I for a second when she was like, "He's a whore. I'm done. It's over." Like two can play that game. I'm gonna be at the bar. I'm thinking, okay, once she starts to two can play that game, that's normally you. I rarely see people fold as quickly, right? To where
Oh
you are
yeah,
like, yeah, like it happened in one night. I like if you told me one day they got back together, fine. But the
but they don't have
same
much time.
the same night, she's like, "I'm about to go kiss random people, and Natalia's here, and I'm done," and all this other stuff. And then by the end of the night, back where she started, I was like, "What is happening?" Because there was so much good stuff going on here, But aside from the Kyle and Nat stuff,
Which was like a nothing burger.
which it really
Fart in the
was,
wind.
it
Yeah.
really was. But oh my god, the Jess and Nat stuff. First of all, Nat, another one. I'm sorry, Chef's kiss. If you're gonna be this person, this is exactly how you do it. You text, "Hey, hope your little girlfriend ain't gonna be mad to see me." She already was like, "I
No,
come in
that's
for business."
correct. She's not a girl's girl. We get it. And
Listen, just sometimes they ain't, and so she shows
and
up.
that's you do you, boo. The thing is,
Right.
maybe I'm a hater, but the way like Nat walked into the club, I was like, nobody moved. But the thing is, that's what I'm saying. They don't put girls like me on these shows, and that pisses me off. That's why I think Robin said this, right? Yeah, I hate when guys know they're conventionally hot and play with the girlies. No, there is a way to play them back. They just don't put me in, coach. Right? Oh, it just bothers me because I was like, no, the girls are losing, and
They
we
are.
did not lose.
City Boys up 1,000 points in this episode, and I'm sorry, it's just true. Lolly points
So
it
then
out.
don't put city girls in. That's the
Lolly in the chat, services are no longer needed. Nat came to do what she came to do. Tell your little girlfriend she can move around. Break up with your girlfriend because I'm bored type energy, okay? She came in like, "Hey, bro, it's a wrap. I'm here." She came in, Jack invites her, but she goes directly to Luca first. Boom. Hug it, all that. Oh my God, so happy to see you. Because Luca, the F-boy that he is, has now picked up, oh, Jess mad? You want to be mad? You want to play games? You think we're in a relationship? Okay, let's see who plays the bigger games. And you know who really set her up? If we really want to talk about it, Laura. Laura is not a girl's girl, Sasha.
Laura is the biggest creep squad member I ever met. Okay, if you watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, not Atlanta, New York, you know what I'm talking about. But when I say give her the creep squad membership, because I've said this time and time again, but it feels like Laura is very much on Nat's side because she thinks Nat is hot. I don't think it's for any other reason. So when Natalia comes in, I think it was very much like, you're so hot. Like, and they're all drunk. So that's how I feel about Laura. It's just, I feel that if she was more attracted to Jess than she was Natalia, it would have been a different story.
I think it's even deeper than that. I think that Laura is in a bromance with Luca. She is team Luca. So she like, oh, Jess, you want to play games with Luca? Let me go lace my boy up on what's going on. Luca like, oh, like it's the Kevin Durant, like Draymond, like he's talking to his ear. She's like, yeah. So anyway, so So Luca's like, oh, really? That's how she feel? Oh, okay, cool, bet. She want to play games? Bet. Okay, gotcha. Now Luca, who has barely been giving Natalia anything in these text messages, is all over her. Like, okay, I'll show you games. You want to play stupid games? Here's some stupid prizes for you. And so Jess was like, I can play too. Ma'am, you are out of your league. You are out of your league.
And there is a literal child that you're making out with. Like, stop. Jess, stand up. When Max lifts her up with one arm, I said,
carries her away.
Max, hi. What are you doing?
He came to get her because she's like, hi, I'm Jess. I'm from Hawaii. What's your name? Let's kiss. Like, it was
what's your name? Tongue.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay. And then for a second, I was like, okay, Jess, I'm not gonna hate. I appreciate the move if it doesn't look desperate. But everyone's looking around and like, Jess, it's very clear that what you're doing is trying to make Luca jealous. And if it's clear, it's not going to work. You know, like if it's very obvious, it's going to be so over the top that everyone's going to be like, all right, look at you coming off kind of sad. And I think that's what's happening here. But man, it was good. But I'm telling you, Laura is the ops. She is not on Jess's side. Correct. She's on Luca's side. 100%. And so any information that gets to Laura, it's going to get to Luca, and Luca's going to have the upper hand. There's one moment where I have something else to say about that, but right now, this is where we're looking at.
No, here's what I also feel. Okay, first of all, dumb. Like, there's so many fumble bags, and I think it's because Jess just got too drunk. When you're on a revenge mission, you must stay sober. That is rule number one.
You have to be in control of everything. You can act drunk, but you cannot be drunk.
Correct. You cannot be drunk. Actually, you shouldn't even be touching alcohol. You should lie, maybe, and you could take 1 or 2 shots max, depending on your tolerance. But you never get drunk. Okay,
never be on our level. Never.
Why? Because once everyone else is drunk and you're on your revenge mission, guess what? You start making them trip. You start making them fall over. You drop drinks on them and ruin their outfit. Like, what's not clicking? Literally, when Natalia walks in and it's a surprise, and everyone literally, you could hear crickets, right? Strike one. That's when you strike and be like, Natalia, you really thought you did something? And just look away. Because that's what I would have been like. I would have literally laughed and been like, you thought you did something, and moved and literally like acted like they both don't exist. And then you don't kiss nobody. That's how you don't. Like, what are people doing? You're so desperate. You never act like you kiss anyone. You literally get on the table and have the time of your life. Like, you have to act like you're in the strip club and you're the main stripper. That's how you have to act.
Yeah.
But no, this girl is like falling all over everyone.
Yeah. You have to be desirable. You don't have to look like you desire attention like everybody else.
Exactly.
People should be looking at you because they want your attention. Like the dude should be trying to make out with you, and you could be you like play him a little bit, keep him to the
And you
arm's
have to
length.
push at least 2 guys. And
Multiple.
yeah, at least multiple, like at least 2, I'll say. Like when they come up to you, you have to make sure Luca's watching. And if he's not watching, you dance, to kill the time. And then as soon as he turns around, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I'm done with the boys, right? Waiting for men. Do the dumbass lines. They love that.
Get the numbers at least, get the number. Then it's like, oh yeah, she's out here getting numbers, not giving her number
You should
up. You know
never
what I'm saying?
actually even get a number. You should be like, can I look at your phone?
Right.
No,
Look, that's
never give
a
your
pro
number.
tip. Sasha,
Yeah.
you killing.
No, you never actually. Listen, if it's a revenge, then you don't give the number. You just gotta look at the phone and be like, oh, what you have to do is let me see your lock screen, right? So you're just like going through it. Meanwhile, that idiot thinks I'm actually giving you my number. Meanwhile, I'm just looking at the lock screen.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Please put me in.
Jess was out of her league. She really was.
Yeah, that's the problem. Just call me.
She just needs a refresher. It was probably one of her first day outs. She just got on a relationship 7 months ago, so she hadn't really just got it back out. She hadn't been in the F-boy streets. The waters is rough. You got to be able to play the game, or you got to get out.
Yes, that's the thing. Then don't play the game because you lost.
It looked bad. It gets worse. Also, in the meantime, Lily, so drunk, she falls down on the beach on the rocks.
And what is Lily wearing? Like,
I wasn't quite sure. There was a moment where I thought she was peeing on the ground because she was just like parked outside the van. Come to find out she can't walk.
No, she fell. Did you hear that?
Yeah, and she couldn't move. She was stuck down there.
They left her for dead multiple times. And I think Max, like, literally is so not interested in Lily, I feel. Because I feel like just sees her as this, like, fumbling, bumbling idiot that just kind of, like, is there, that he enjoys as a person.
He called her his naked bromance. He said, this is my naked bromance chemistry. This is not a relationship. And Max, he's watching how Luca's moving, and he's like, I honestly don't respect the way Luca's moving, And Max
Girlies attack.
Max is like, honestly, I like Jess. Why is he treating her like this? I think I want to help her get her revenge. And he's in the van. He looks around. He says, yeah. Do you mind if I kiss Jess? And I was like, what is happening?
No, when he said, do you mind if I kiss Jess? I would have jumped out of the car. And I would have been like, the sea must swallow me away. Because what energy have I put out that makes you think that is okay to say to me?
Right, bro, with naked bromance energy. That's exactly what it was. He was looking at her like that's his homie. Said, hey, we good, right? I have put you the long way. That's cool. But at the same time, I'm not loving what Luca's doing, and Jess could use a kiss. Let me take one for the team. And Lily, who I think is a little bit more skilled than Jesse is like, I don't care. I mean, I would care. Don't get me wrong. I care. But like, if you want to do that, whatever. But I don't care. I said, okay. I don't hate the answer because she's drunk. She's toe up.
Yes.
But she's telling him like, hey, if that's how you want to be, do that. But at the same time, just know that I'm looking at you crazy. It's crazy. It's wild that you came at me like that. But we ain't got no titles. Do what you want to do. She's not expecting him to go do it. Especially when she's like, Luca doesn't respect you. He doesn't care about you. The way he's treating you is wrong. He's saying this to Jess while Lily is on the ground and she can't walk because she fell out of the bed.
Literally under the earth. Like that's how low
her
this
leg
girl
is broken.
has gotten.
Yes, and he's standing feet away from her, not helping her up, not carrying her with one arm.
She doesn't exist.
Yeah, because he's talking about how Luca is the one who's disrespectful. The dirty Mac king of them all is Max. I'm so proud of him. It was so dirty.
Amazing. When I tell you, these are the kinds of friends I need.
Yeah, just raggedy. And you can just watch them do raggedy stuff all the time.
But like when I need a friend, first of all, again, Jess, fumbling the bag, because no shade to Lily, but if nobody's being a girl's girl at this point, so F it, right? Sometimes you just, we all pick me's now. We all in
It's
the
a
dirt.
hallmark of Below Deck. Every season, you got
Yeah.
these
So
girls.
let's do it. So I would literally be like, Max, that was kind of hot the way you grabbed me. See what he says back. Next thing you know, I'm in Luca's cabin being like, you can't come in here. Max and I are together.
It would have been the
Then
move.
what would you do? Play with your hand, Luca?
Luca gotta start texting Natalia again. That's all he can do is text his way through it. But
Yes,
again,
keep texting while we actually are grown-ups. That's what I would. Oh
yeah,
my God. It's just so annoying how
yeah.
easy this could be for hot girls.
Look, Max watches Lily get back on the boat. The first thing Max says is, "I asked you if I could do it, and you said it was cool." And Lily's like, "I'm too drunk to argue with you. Let's just go to bed." Like that's basically she's like, "I can't even walk. I don't have time to address this. I think my leg is broken." And in the meantime, Jess is like, "Luca, you're a whore. I hate you so much. I kind of which way is the bed? Where are we going?" And
Don't even. This, I will stand for Jess only for this part because she pissed me off. But it felt icky. She's drunk.
they're both drunk.
Correct.
They're both drunk. Yeah.
I just feel like he didn't need to grab her like that after she's like, I don't know that I want this, blah, blah. We know that she's into Luca. I'm not disputing that. And I'm sure consent was given. I'm not even going to argue that. I'm just saying, I need to watch that. It was gross. And then Laura's loser ass is here being like, Jess, blah, blah, blah. Are you going to stand up? How is Kyle or Laura or not one of these losers being like, hey, what about Luca? Just stay away from Jess. Why don't you talk about your loser ass friend Luca? But no.
Laura is a guy's girl, okay? One of us. She's team Luca. So she's like, hey, instead of telling like Luca, hey bro, you've been moving weird. This is weird. You've been you've been playing games, XYZ. She blaming the victim. She blaming Jess. She like, Jess, you need to do better. Da 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 da. Like, ma'am, you could easily be like, Luca, chill. Just tonight's not tonight, XYZ. But no, she's like, have some self-respect. How old are you? 26? Really? I said, Laura, you ain't even been on the boat all day. You just show up and you out here laying that hammer down. Like, I'm telling you that you need to grow. Like, listen, objectively speaking, yes, Jess needs to stand up for herself. She needs to not be, but at the same time, in this moment where she's clearly losing the fight, you're like throwing salt in the wound. You're supposed to help her uplift this woman.
She can't. The problem is she can't fight for herself. This is what I mean when I say I wish I could be there so I could be like, yeah, let me grab you by your collar.
Yeah. We ain't doing this tonight.
This is what we're doing today. Like I would be Draymond to your Kevin Durant. Even
Sasha has literally done this to me before. She has literally grabbed me and been like, Chappell, this is not you. Stand up. Like she was wrong, but she had my back. She had my back in the
multiple
moment.
People thought Chappell was wrong. I was the only one to say it.
She had my back. She did. She came and got me. Was like, Chappell, you're looking down bad right now. You gotta come. Come on, come out of this hole. You're good here. We're done. We're going home. Call Uber. And I was like, but she loves me, like that kind of thing. And I was, like I said, I was right. But at the same time, at least Sasha didn't have me out here looking down bad. Laura could easily be like, hey, Jess, come with me. Luca, chill out. You my boy, but I'm done. We're not allowing this to happen. She looks pitiful. She looks pitiful as nothing else. Even if they were both sober, she looks pitiful. It's time to go. Laura is not Team Jess at all. And we skipped over something. When Jess told Natalia, what are you doing here, bitch? This is my man. This is my boyfriend. I said, what?
I said we lost.
And Natalia said the line that has plagued women for thousands of years. Look, that's between y'all two. I just got here. I don't know that y'all need to work that out. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Natalia, let's review the text. Wear something sexy. Tell your little girlfriend her services are no longer needed. Natalia, did what needed to be done. She
Oh
pieced it
no,
up.
she's correct.
She did
Unfortunately,
it.
Natalia is correct.
No,
The
no.
thing is, what you do here is you take the water and throw it on her head because you're being a little thirsty. Thought you would need it.
Oh my God.
Like to
It,
me, when they're making out, I will strategically place myself on top of the table close to them while I'm dancing with my water. My water full of ice will fall on your head. And then I'll be like, I didn't mean it. I will even dap you up harder with the napkin and be like, but maybe it helps your thirst and walk away. Baby, you have to walk away.
yeah, y'all. I have seen Sasha in action. That I've seen the haters looking at Sasha, and Sasha like don't pay them no mind at all. I've seen it, y'all. I was mad. I was like, "Hey, y'all, Sasha, you see that girl the way she trying to come at you?" Sasha like, I ain't worried about her ass. I've seen it, y'all. She's not lying. This is woo, man. But when Jess says this is my boyfriend, I was like, "What? Rack it, pack it up. It's over. That's the nail in the coffin. Sprinkle some dirt on it. It's over. It's over. The
Yeah,
grave
like
is
I
dug."
told I can't. And the problem is just like it's so easy to not be down this bad, but the city girls have lost currently
A masterclass from Luca and
of
Natalia.
embarrassment.
They did what needed to be done. Sorry, Jess, it happened at your expense, but it's because you were out of your league when it comes to these games. Some people are not built for them, and that is not to call you a bad person. That's to say that you should not have been
No.
in the game. That means you're probably a better person than these people are, honestly.
I'm not. That's why I'm giving these.
Listen, you got to be able to recognize the signs. That's all. You have to be able to see when you're getting packed up. And people were trying to help her. People were legit like, Haley was like, hey, just so you know, word then got back about Luca and XYZ, and now Laura didn't told, like, he knows that you are about to try to play a game. Like, people were in her ear. She was just so hurt by Luca playing with her emotions and trying to putting her on the roster. Jess, you got to know sometimes you're just gonna be on the roster. And
That's what I'm saying. With boys that good looking, don't be dumb.
Yeah, if you're gonna be on the roster, know your position and make sure you don't play yourself into a world where you feel like, oh, that's not yours. Look at that man. That's not yours. That's the streets.
And the thing is, boys like that are so used to getting all that attention that it's actually so much easier to break them. Because as soon as you ignore them, they're like dogs. They'll just
attention
be like,
is the drug. Yes,
yeah,
it's the attention. That is what you have over him that you're messing up. So Sasha, to see that they end up back in bed, and then Max and Lily end up back in bed. This woman can't even stand up. Literally, she cannot stand up the next morning because her leg is almost broken to the point where they have to carry her out almost.
I'm
what
telling
a perfect
you,
ending to a story.
it's just bumbling, fumbling idiots. Because the thing is also, Max kisses Jess to an audience of no one.
Yeah, that's the thing. The makeout was supposed to be to make him jealous, but kissing her outside when no one's around, it's like
you just
that
wanted
doesn't serve the
to
purpose.
tone her down.
Like, don't get me wrong. I think it gave her some confidence because for her to end up back with Luca in any she should have been running and hiding from him by that point. So for even to have the gall to go and talk to him after that night, I think it gave her some confidence. But I do think the desired effect is that he's supposed to be jealous of this kiss. If anything, it probably made
guys don't do that.
Right. If anything, it probably made Lily jealous, and Lily was like, "What the hell?" And so now Lily's back in the bed because she needs to prove who's boss. Look, city boys up. You know, I don't know what else to tell you, Sasha.
Now I feel like I need to go out and find like 7 girls.
You're
to like
I need to go
I can't.
I need to go make friends with some people so I can coach them through this so we can get the points back up.
Because I was like, I'm out of the game and I hate this for us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have been out tonight and been like, wait, what's going on? It's for Below Deck. You won't understand.
And then Jess wakes up the next day, and the first thing out her mouth is, I gotta find that guy I kissed at the bar. Yes, Jess, if you were going to have sex with somebody, you shouldn't have done that. You should not have had sex with anybody. But if you were going to bring somebody back, it should have probably been the guy from the bar, and then you should have pretended. You didn't have to do anything with them, but definitely bring him back and show that you don't care. Yeah, don't show him that you don't care about Luca. But to wake up the next day and be like, I wonder if there's somebody who actually likes me around. Like, stop it.
You
Stop
don't
it.
even bring him on the boat. You just make him ride the taxi with you and be like, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, you're not allowed on the boat. Bye."
Right. Show that you have options. What are you doing? Boo.
God, it's just that's why it just boils my blood as to how
Yeah.
the bag was fumbled. But listen, because you're playing with the big boys. I'm not here to take anything away from Luca because he did well. All I'm saying is it's just very easy to
Mhm.
break boys like this. Like hot boys only have attention.
That's all we got.
You just take it, yeah. You just take it away. It's so easy.
We called it at the beginning of the season. There were certain like when we
Yeah.
watched Luca, we were like, "No, we see." Like we talked about it. We like we see the mark of the beast. We like we identified him very early on. We were like,
It's so
Luca,
easy.
he was such a gentleman on last season, but there were little moments. And then this season, we were like, wait a minute, Luca, you kind of got you okay. This might be one of the people. He's one of them people, one of them ones. And it just took Jess forever. He just had us know from the beginning. It happens. Pour one out for Jess. She fought the good fight.
Yeah, talking about going to Cannes, girl.
That was another thing. That's when I thought she stood up. When he's like, so France, she's like, I ain't going to Cannes. Girl, boy, get out my. I was like, yes, Jess, there you go.
Come on, let's just stay here. So y'all, alcohol is your worst enemy with this stuff.
At the end of the episode, they're kissing, and she says, all right, see you in a few. In a few. Jess, what did we just do?
You're just never hit your head against the wall.
You're never supposed to text this man after this night. That's it.
Never blocked.
Never.
And blocked and blessed is what you have to live.
Yeah, maybe don't even block them, but you definitely got to go live your own life on Instagram. Let them see you thrive. Let them see you like send the thumbs up emojis. You got to come on, man. Like I said,
guys, that why you send me thumbs up emojis? No, I'm just
sometimes you got to keep people in limbo. You can't let them know that you are either like thinking about them or that you're moving on. Like you gotta live your life like they don't exist.
But listen, we're toxic, okay? That we are making it clear. So don't come in the comments talking about it's not healthy, duh.
Yeah, no, this is not. We're talking about if you about to play this dirty game. Now look, for your mental health, block this man and move on. Never look back.
Yes, but
don't watch the
reality.
But if you're gonna be in these streets, don't block him.
In the streets.
Don't block him. Mute him. You never need to see anything he's doing. He needs to see you do everything that you're doing, all the good stuff. If anything bad happens to you, he doesn't need to know about it. He needs to see every fun moment you have, every shot you take, every bikini you wear. You got to play this game because he didn't mind flaunting around the house.
Clown nose. If you have people watching, don't be stupid.
Yeah. No. You live life like everything is great, even if you underwater. He don't need to know. Nobody else don't need to know. He don't.
And every guy friend has to become a prospect. It's so easy to do that too.
Let them in your comments. Let them, start commenting. They'll comment back. Come on. Anyway, that's a different show.
You just ask your guy friends. I need you to comment. It's so easy.
Go like my picture. Bet.
That's what me and my friends used to do. I'd be like, oh, or like my pictures I just posted.
Bet. Okay. It takes me 2 seconds. I'll throw some hard eyes in there.
The hot face. That's the one.
Yeah, the hot face with the tongue out.
Yes. That's my favorite emoji if I'm trying to do any dirt. Come on, guys. Wake up. Okay, you're welcome, everyone.
Sasha, I think that wrapped everything up. I mean, everybody said bye.
Yeah, they said bye. I mean, I never care for it. Maybe I'm crazy, but it just everyone leaves.
Colin Captain said he had a good moment.
Sure. We did have some things that I wanted to star. So Matt did say, and a lot of people again in the chat, but Matt had said it first, that it's so obvious that they want Luca to be the male face of the franchise in this post-Gary world. And Anna and a few other folks also said that. I agree. I think they're setting Luca up as the next. So I think that's where we see what's next for Luca. Haley is just, we're not gonna see her.
She didn't do anything. I don't think it's her fault. She had a bad shift.
Yeah. It's just Haley's gone.com. Kyle, See, Robin said this like pretty early in the chat as well, where this season made me dislike Kyle even more and just not like Toomey. I hadn't watched her previous season. The thing is, I have a controversial take from what I've said before. After watching Watch What Happens Live, I'm like, Toomey, what? Um, because y'all, Toomey said she likes Chef Ryan's from Below Deck Down Under, right? Her first season food better than Chef Jack's. And when I tell you Toomey is lying and literally speaking nonsense because Ryan sucks. He's a bad person. You can't tell me otherwise. He talks so shit about women. Like he's just an overall mega loser. I can't cook. Who thought fine dining was like pasta? Just yuck. And to me, is like that's my friend. I don't like that to me. I'll say that.
Do you think Toomey has harsh feelings toward Jack and she's just taking it out like by like being like, oh yeah, Jack's food isn't as good as my friend? Because remember, Jack was very much Team Natalia. In all the Toomey drama, he never had Toomey's back at all. And so maybe it's just she watched it and now she's playing the game. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you and Jack got along this season. Oh, yeah, Jack's food is fine. You know, it's fine. It's fried tofu, whatever, whatever. That's what he likes. Gay breakfast, cool. But Ryan, woo, Ryan, that's her guy. I really think that she might have been throwing a little salt on the wound when it comes to Jack.
Yeah. So listen, but I am still Toomey, like on team Toomey. I agree. I think Kyle was really irritating everyone by the end. On Watch What Happens Live, Sandy and Toomey agree that Kyle is like basically the root of all issues. And that they should have Toomey said she should have been more aware and she is disappointed seeing everything back. But I'm still team Toomey, and I think this is like one of the worst dramas ever because everyone wanted to be Chief and no one wanted to Chief Stew, I mean, and no one wanted to be a follower except Jess, who I think has one of the best like goodbyes ever because the producers are like, do you wanna go back and be a leader? No, I would like to be a follower.
Yeah, she said,
So
nope, I've seen it, I'm good where I am.
Queen. Yep. Only this one thing, unfortunately, Jess. Sorry. And then also Robin says, which we did talk about it, but I just wanted to bring it up as like a wrap up. Where something weird about this show is I don't know how long in advance it was filmed, about a year ago. But Luca has been with someone for 5 years. So how did that never get brought up? They conveniently broke up for Below Deck Down Under and this one.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. If you think about it, if I'm going on the show and they need a new Gary type, they definitely don't want somebody who is tied down and loyal, right? So you talk to your significant other like, hey, let's take a break. I really need this for my career, blah, blah, blah. You get the break on paper, like boom, we're on the break, and then you go live your life, and then you come back and be like Max, I asked you if it was cool. You said and she probably said the same thing. Like, I don't care if that's what you want to do. I don't care, but I do care. But if that's what you want to do, so it happens. That it's the game. The game is the game.
Yeah, nothing wrong. It's just thought it was fascinating. And then the last thing, which leads us into the next season. But how do we feel about Captain Carrie? I'm concerned. I'm fine. I do think that it was a rough season that we saw Captain Carrie on, right? Like Below Deck Adventure. So I do think he has better people. Like Frasier's coming back. So let's see. I don't think we should be worried yet for Captain Carrie. I'll say that. I think Below Deck Adventure was just a cursed season we're not going to count as canon.
Yeah, I've never seen it, so I'm very excited to meet.
No,
Captain
and I
Carrie.
would never recommend unless you like want to be like, how do I hate people?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even then, it's just like, how do we? Anne also says, didn't Luca hook up with Asia's sister before Below Deck? Yes, he's for the streets. Yes, Lolly, thank you. Adventure was also a different production team, correct? All to say, Adventure is not canon. We refuse. So yeah, I just think we should give Captain Carrie a chance. I never disliked him. I just felt like all of Adventure was weird. That's all.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And from Watch What Happens Live, y'all, I didn't feel like anything was so wild. The her being friends with Ryan was the craziest and biggest thing for me. And who has the worst attitude, Natalia or Ryan? And Toomey picked Natalia, and I said, no.
Yeah, I mean, Toomey and Natalia almost got into a fist fight.
Yeah, that's
so
what I'm
it
saying.
makes
Like,
sense.
I understand why, because Toomey, that's why we love Toomey. She was like even keeled, cool with everyone, right? Because she, Asia was the chief, and Asia and Ryan were fighting, right? Like, I totally understand why. It's just nuts. And Captain Sandy's fiance was on the bartender on Watch What Happens Live. So I thought that was really sweet, and I enjoyed that. Sandy thinks Jess is the better match for Luca, not
Sandy, sit this
Natalia.
one out. Sit this one out, Sandy.
Sandy was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Toomey gave Max a 3 on work ethic, and Sandy gave him a 4. But they said, but we still want him and love him, and he like still brought a lot. So
Max is coming back, right?
yeah, Max has to come back. He's
He's
so
coming back.
foolish.
He's so foolish. He's so good.
And after the kiss, he has to come back.
Yeah. The audacity of him to ask and to read the room well enough to know that he wasn't going to get popped in the face by asking that. Hey, he got it. You bring him back. Good TV.
The audacity. That's what I feel like with Max. But yeah, that was like the biggest thing for Watch What Happens Live. Again, we know Andy really doesn't care about Below Deck, so we get very little. And I have to say, we didn't do this last season, but I think we should. Who gets our like big deck energy award, which is maybe could be our MVP.
Okay.
And then maybe our low deck energy, or I don't know, something. We got to come up with the LVP.
Okay. I have a controversial take.
Yes.
When we came into the season, everybody was so low on Captain Sandy. Sasha, after the end of this season, how do you feel about Captain Sandy?
When everyone's shit, yeah, you're a little less shit. That's true. But I see what you're saying, because we really soured you on Captain Sandy,
like,
and then all of a sudden you're like,
yeah,
even
and then
folks on Reddit were like, oh my god, why do I like Captain Sandy?
Exactly. And look, there was a lot of people who were bad this season. There's a lot to be desired. But I think, but I think that Captain Sandy probably is the one who subverted expectations the most, and it probably had the most like redemption as compared to a lot of the other things we saw in this season. So that's why I was willing to say Captain Sandy. But if you have a different person, then I'd be willing to listen to you.
Yeah. I think I would say Lolly also said this, but I think I go for Laura, because she does her job well, but Anne is messy.
She is messy, yeah.
And that's what we want.
Okay. Yeah, and that's cool, because Captain Sandy is mentoring her. So maybe one day she will be a captain as well.
That's true. So I just, but I'm not mad at Sandy, because I agree with your take. I can't do it.
And Anna in the chat pointed out, last time I told y'all to be nicer to Joelle. Joelle had one bad episode last time, but all season y'all told me he's horrible. And now this time y'all told me Captain Sandy was awful, and Captain Sandy had a couple bad moments, but I think overall I have an improvement. Maybe I just came in on the good Below Deck renaissance. Everybody's stepping it up.
No, I think they just saw themselves on TV and decided to get it together. But I also love Thundercat says, wow, everyone had a smidgen of problematic picks, problematicness, so tough to pick an MVP, but maybe Haley. Honestly, Haley wins by the purple edit.
Yeah, she was barely on the show. Matt even points out that we didn't. Kyle was a mess, but we did get never, and I think that's the unofficial catchphrase now of the show and podcast. Because
first of all, Chappell and I randomly say this, and people look at us like we're nuts. But thank God for y'all, because as soon as I'll say it on a podcast, the chat will be like, "Never, it's y'all, never, and I'm like, yes, because everyone else is looking at me like I'm nuts.
Sasha Toomey even said it. She's like, "Listen, Kyle, don't let the devil ruin your time. They will never be on our level." I was like, "Yeah, she did." Yeah, so there you go.
So good. And for LVP, I must say, I made it up, so it's for me to decide. But I will say it was a season length. I feel like this would have
Mhm.
benefited from a two a week because it was taking too damn long.
Yeah, yeah, it was too much. It was too long. It's just crazy. Like I said, there was highs, there were definitely lows. There were lows for a very long time, and I think that's why the season felt like it was dragging for so long. But the ending was strong, and so
Mhm.
for me, I enjoyed Below Deck Med, but I'm looking forward to what's coming up next.
Yeah, so tell us in the chat or maybe in your 5-star review who your like big deck energy MVP is, and maybe your LVP, your least valuable player, and your most valuable yachty. But
Yeah.
we'll just say MVP. And with that, everyone, we are taking a 1-week break.
Yes, vacation style.
Yes, we our production or our owner that's what they always say on Below Deck. They'll be like, the owner has got for you. So anyway, we will be back in 1 week
Mhm.
for the premiere of season 11 of Below Deck Proper. I am so excited. It says new captain, new rules. And you know what, Pambella? Thank you. Because Pambella says, enjoy your trip to Cannes.
Hey,
We
I like a
will.
good film festival. That's fine. Yeah, this is my first Below Deck proper, so I'm excited. Let's get into it. I'm
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah. And I think now you have done the circle.
Except Adventure,
No,
but it's not
Adventure's
canon.
never coming back. Thank
Yeah, it's
God.
never come back. Yeah,
So
yeah.
we
So yeah,
don't count it. Yeah, so we did it, everyone. Again, a huge shout out to the chat. Like, y'all are literally the best. I think one of the only reasons we keep going is because Rob knows how good y'all are and how dedicated all of you are. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you for like keeping us running, and you got us renewed. And with that, again, if you haven't, leave us a 5-star review. Please end our season on a high note. That's our tips. And for me, you can find me on Twitter at funsize_04. I also host a celebrity gossip vibes only pop culture podcast with Kirsten McKennis called Mess Magnets over here on Rob has a podcast. So check that out. We have our own feed. Rob has a website /mess feed. I also was a guest on 90 Day Fiance this week. So check that out with Puya. It was a really fun time. And for everything else I'm doing, yeah, just check my Twitter. What about you, Chappelle?
follow me on Twitter at Chappelle's_show. I'll tweet out everything, including that I'm about to go live with Rob Cesternino to talk about the finale of The Trust on Netflix on our Nothing But Netflix podcast. So check that out. You can follow me on Twitter for all the other updates as well.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye.